Hi, my October 13th birthday babies. Come on in, because this video is all about you. Today, from the Secret Language of Birthdays book, I'm going to be sharing with you the personality profile for people born on your birthday. And before we go any further, I want to give a special shout out to my little sister Sandra, or Sandra, as I call her. Happy birthday, Sandra. I love you. All right, now let's get into it, because so far I can see the tagline for this day, and it sounds about right, okay? So, let's come on down here. Okay, so October 13th is the day of the tough cookie. Those born on October 13th don't fool around when it comes to their professional life. They take their career very seriously and pride themselves on their ability to deliver results. Tough to the extreme, they are dangerous enemies and have the capacity to overcome resistance through sheer guts and endurance. They believe that a human being should go for it, no ifs, ands, or buts. Unfortunately, however, those born on this day can be rigid and unforgiving. They may find it difficult to be happy for extended periods and are sharply critical of much that goes on around them. They have a great need to relax, but at times find it near impossible to do so, and though highly talented, have difficulty simplifying life. Therefore, October 13th people not infrequently encounter problems in personal relationships. It's hard for them to please others when they themselves are so restless. Paradoxically, October 13th people are known to be sweet and giving to those close to them. In all fairness, they are harder on themselves than others, but not everyone is capable of seeing that. It is not so much that they are perfectionists, indeed they are, but that their aforementioned critical attitude can make them difficult to live and work with. Thankfully, what they produce is generally of such infutability, high quality, that it is hard to fault them as far as results are concerned. I apologize. I am trying to read in the dark. I don't know why. Um, so I apologize if I stutter. October 13th people can be very elusive when necessary. Those who wish to use an October 13th person to elicit information or appropriate knowledge may find that after having had their interview or conversation, they have learned precious little, if anything at all. What they grasped was but smoke and mirrors. But through elusiveness, distance, and circumspection, certainly make October 13th people less gullible and vulnerable. Those born on this day might consider opening up a bit more to those deserving of their trust. October 13th people are often blessed with technical abilities. It would seem that they are individuals with such mastery of their medium. It would seem that individuals with such mastery of their medium would have little problem in career matters, but they can become baffled and bewildered when they are rejected or ignored. It is, however, only perhaps through such confrontative and seemingly negative experiences that they can grow further, particularly when forced to confront themselves through an introspection denied them during their periods of great success. It is crucial that October 13th people come to understand themselves and then proceed to forge common human bonds with those around them. Learning to loosen up, have fun, and take things less seriously will help. Given their drive, dedication, and exceptional abilities, those born on this day cannot but succeed if they can develop in this way. All right. So I'm sure you watching, you know, there's a lot that's going to resonate with you. For me as a reader, I got two really common themes here, especially because I'm reading for someone really close to me who's born on this day. These two things really stuck out at me. We'll start with the simpler one. Recurring theme in here was your need to loosen up, your need you're too rigid. You can be too rigid, right? This is not going to resonate with everybody. You can be too rigid. You can be too tough. You can be too stiff, is kind of what it's saying here. You need to loosen up, right? Coming from somebody who used to be also very rigid, although other people may not have seen it, I was very rigid. And something happens when you just allow yourself to surrender sometimes, which goes into the second common theme that I saw here was your need to be more introspective, your need to take things a little more simply, especially right now. I'm recording this in 2020. There are so many things vying for our attention: social media, TV, radio, phones. All the time, our energy is being pulled outside of ourselves. And what happens is that we become trained to look outside of ourselves for answers to life's really tough questions. If you look in the description of this video, it very clearly states this is entertainment. These are not answers. You know where the answers are to all of your questions? Inside you, right? How could anybody on YouTube, how could I know the answers to your questions? They're all within you. And I want to give you your meditation on that note. I don't always give it in all of the readings because there's a lot here to digest, but it goes in line with what I just said. Reflective thought can have as much influence on what happens around you as action can. Again, reflective thought can have as much influence on what happens around you as action can. You don't always need to act. There's so much that literally will just come to you if you just allow yourself to be reflective. It's sort of like when you're trying to fall asleep and the day starts to replay in your mind. That's not always a good time for it to be showing up. That's when it likes to show up, but you're trying to sleep. So if you can find some conscious reflective activities, the one that I really get behind is doing a voice journal. I found this to be better than doing a written journal because the written journal kind of keeps the wheels turning in your mind, and an audio journal starts to move the thoughts and the visions. It starts to move everything out of your mind through your mouth, and you get to be in your body a little bit more, right? Because we're already too much in our heads. But yeah, there's so much I can say on the need to have reflective activities. The way I categorize my days right now, and I can do a longer video on this if you're interested in it, is projection during the day, reflection at night. And I don't want to go too much into detail unless you guys want a video specifically on this. But in this day and age of people crafting and curating a life on social media that doesn't accurately portray what they're living in the bulk of their life, right? You get to project this image of who you want to be and of who you are. You also need to balance that out with having some sort of activity you do, like I said, like this journal perhaps, in which you reflect and you allow yourself to be vulnerable and be real. Nobody ever has to see it, but you can't always be, it's weird to say this, but you can't always be blessed and winning and, nonstop. No, at some point you do stop, and at some point you're not winning because you're not playing any game at all. And sometimes you don't feel blessed. You have things that work against you, like we all do. And it's really important that you have an activity in your life in which you can reflect on all of that and be human. So I'm going to end it there. Let me know what resonated with you, and let me know if you want to see any longer videos on some of the things I spoke about. Obviously, I'm very passionate about all this, but again, there's a lot here for you to digest. And if you're watching this on your actual birthday, cheers to you. Happy birthday. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.